Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network, and it's Monday. Today's topic is dis-ease or disquiet. And before we get started with that, let me it looks like we're having some technical difficulties because I'm not seeing the preview here. So I'm gonna. Oh, you see me, Jennifer? Do you see me? Can you just put it in the chat? Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Jennifer. I'm guessing you guys have a visual. Would you confirm that in the chat for me? Because I'm not seeing anything here in my preview window. Could you just Okay, I'm on. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so this morning's topic is dis-ease or disquiet. And before we get started with that, let's just take a couple minutes to settle in and get present, be here, and connect with each other. So let's take a deep breath in through our nose. Hold it. Feel that energy just coursing through your body. And exhale any tension from your neck, your back, your jaw. Let's take another deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Feel that energy. Just feel that vitality filling your lungs and just moving throughout all your cells. And then exhale any residual tension. And then let's gently place our palms together and softly rub your fingers against your palms till you feel that tingly feeling in your fingertips, and just allow that to bring you present here right now to your body. So welcome. It's a new week, and I thought it would be great to talk about dis-ease and what I mean by that is this sense, the initial sense that when we don't align with could manifest itself in physical symptoms, but this disquiet or sense of something not being right, or this feeling of agitation that we might have, and we could call it anxiety, we could call it discomfort, we could call it any number of things, but for right now I'm just going to call it disquiet. And let's think about how we can move into that and through that. So I've spoken a lot about presencing yourself to your emotions and to the physical feelings that you have in your body. And what happens is when we have these feelings of discomfort or disquiet or unease, dis-ease, we often respond to it by trying to squash it or ignore it. We go do something to take our mind off it. We have a drink or smoke something or take something or distract ourselves in one way or another. And I know that a lot of the things that I talk about are counterintuitive, because rather than trying to just avert our attention and do something else, uh, I'm advocating putting your attention more deeply inward. And this doesn't mean to indulge necessarily in the stories that help to perpetuate these feelings. But I have, and I imagine you have as well, experienced times when you just have this restlessness or this underlying upset of some form or another. And what we want to do is take a moment to feel into your body, to identify where that sensation is beyond the stories, to go find the sensation and breathe into that sensation. Just allow yourself to feel what it feels like in your body. And as you're able to observe it without any kind of judgment, to breathe into it, to be with it, what happens is it dissipates. It either moves or it dissipates. And so the reason I brought this up this morning is because I had this very odd awareness that I just wasn't all aligned, and I felt this real disquiet, and I started connecting inward and recognized, good morning, Jorge, and good morning, hopefully, Sandria. Welcome. So I realized that I had this sense that I was just out of alignment. I actually felt, good morning, Charles, that I wasn't fully in my body. And as I think many of us are trained to not be in our bodies. Our bodies are a place where we experience discomfort, or we experience anxiety, or we experience fear. And so the way that we overcome it is kind of by dissociating ourselves. And I'm finding, as I'm practicing to be in my body more and more deeply, that I have greater and greater awareness in general. I have greater connection to things. I have greater um, intuition about things because I'm able to be in touch. In any case, this morning, what I was aware of is that I was not in alignment, and I touched in to check in with the chakra balance in my body. And I imagine that if you're on this network, you probably are familiar with chakras, but if not, they're energy centers, energetic centers in our body, and there are 7 primary energy centers, and they go right down the middle of our bodies. So we have the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, and then the lower belly is like the reproductive chakra, and then the base of the spine is the root. And as I touched in to just feel into each of those energy vortexes, what I noticed, and it was really a strange sensation, and it was a sensation actually, was that my solar plexus was like way over to my left, and my throat was over to the right, and just feeling into these places. And so I took my attention and focused it deliberately from the root chakra up. So starting at the root, imagining that chakra being central to my body, both on both the vertical axes, and imagining it filled with this beautiful, beautiful red light. And as I breathed into it and allowed myself to find the center of it, it sort of clicked in. And then I went to the reproductive chakra, which is the lower belly, and the color for that is orange. And I just put my attention on that orb. You could imagine like this vortex of orange energy there, and just bring it central to my body. And actually that one took some attention too, because it was all over the place, and some I noticed were forward of my body, and some were not, some were behind, or just behind me. And so I imagined bringing that energy central to both the axes of my body. And I did that then with the solar plexus, and the color for the solar plexus is yellow, and the solar plexus is kind of your upper or mid chest area, and or your upper torso actually, and imagined that yellow ball of energy and brought it central again to my body. And it actually took a while to bring that, to coax it back in, to imagine it being central to my body, to breathe into that central axis, and to envision that vortex, that yellow vortex of energy just moving through that center. And also, as I was adding each chakra, I visualized having each of them aligned with the ones that I had aligned before to make sure that everything was staying in alignment. And then the next one after the solar plexus was the heart, and the color for the heart chakra is green. And imagining that wonderful vortex of energy just with this beautiful green glow, and imagining that central to my body on all axes. And then the throat, and the color for that is blue. And that one was out of alignment too. And I just, as I brought that in alignment with the other chakras, I'm imagining a line of light moving through and connecting all of them. And then into the third eye, and the color for the third eye is indigo, and bringing that vortex in sort of the center of my head behind my forehead, and bringing the energy into that and keeping it in alignment, making sure it's central to my body. And last but not least was the crown chakra, and the color for that is purple. And imagining all these orbs and vortexes of energy just vibrating and central and in alignment. And then at the end, to get everything all lined up, was to breathe in through the root, through the solar, the reproductive chakra, into the solar plexus, and then the heart and the throat and the third eye and the crown, and breathing up and imagining all this energy flowing up through all those chakras, and then coming out the top of my head and creating a torus of rainbow energy, and moving back down to the root, and just creating this cycle, just cycling through from the root, through the crown, through all the chakras, and bringing them into this beautiful balance and alignment. And in doing that, this sense of dis-ease and disquiet and disorientation just sort of melted and became greater clarity and greater alignment and much greater comfort. So it may take you a short time to get yourself all aligned like that. It may take you longer. This morning for me, it took a little while. But noticeably afterwards, especially with that torus of beautiful rainbow light flowing through and around, I found that I was much better able to be present, to breathe easier, and to feel also more whole. And so for those of you that are feeling at the effect of your environment, and maybe feeling the need for protection or defense, my belief is that the best defense is wholeness. And this little exercise is really powerful in being able to create that sense of balance and alignment and clarity. And so the idea around dis-ease or disquiet is to find ways to touch in and connect and realign. And so the feeling of the feelings, and the allowing yourself to follow their movement, and the sensations. Because what happened for me actually during a portion of this exercise was that I felt the place where my my reproductive chakra and my solar plexus were out of alignment, and there were physical sensations that arose as I was focusing on that chakra. And so part of it was not just focusing on the color, but recognizing, even if it seemed unrelated, the physical sensations that accompanied that. And what I notice, and I have spoken this before, but it's such a powerful technique that I'm going to share it again. What I notice is that oftentimes when you feel one sensation, another sensation will occur in synchrony, in the same time frame at a different location. And if you can bridge those two or sometimes three sensations and connect them, like imagine them in connection with each other and feel them both, then what happens is they typically will dissipate. And this sometimes the pain can get very acute, and if you breathe through it, I have found in more cases than not that the sensation, the pain, just sort of dissipates and disappears. So with the sense of dis-ease, we want to attend to it as it arises, because if we don't, what happens is that's energy. That's energy that we have diverted or subverted or suppressed, and then our body remembers it and our body stores it. And as we build those stores, what happens is that it becomes a congestion of energy, which, if it's there long enough, can manifest in a physical way. That's why it's so important to be able to attend to our physical sensations of discomfort also as they arise, so that we can release the congested energy that's helping to hold those physical sensations in place. So I think that's it for today, is just looking at how to create greater ease and greater comfort and greater alignment, which gives us greater wholeness, which makes us less vulnerable to the influences of external energies, and particularly in this time where there's so much upset in the world over social justice, over COVID, over uh, livelihood and security and uncertainty. Knowing how to reinforce yourself and your own individual alignment is a gift of grace, and I invite you to exercise it fully, because not only will it improve the quality of life that you experience, but it will also enable you to be more truly responsive to the demands of the moment, and it will also make you better able to be present for your life and also for contribution to others. So that's it for this morning. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. I'm here every morning during the week at 9 a.m. Eastern, and this is the Enlightened World Network. I invite you to check out the phenomenal programming on this channel, on this Facebook page. And before I leave, Jennifer says, I struggle with keeping my lower root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras in balance. After a full hysterectomy, it changed my sacral chakra completely. I do body scans often. I appreciate you. I appreciate, and namaste. Jennifer, I appreciate you so much as well. And I'm wondering if as you do these alignments, body scans, I'm wondering if perhaps when you put your attention on each of those chakras, you imagine sort of a golden light that is connecting them, or maybe even a golden channel that is connecting them so that they can stay in alignment and in vibration with one another, like this golden channel of light that the chakras then vibrate within. I'd love your feedback to see if that's successful for you. I noticed for myself that as I was doing this, the chakras kept wanting to go out of alignment again. And as I connected them energetically with one another through light, a line of this beautiful golden light, that it helped to keep them in place. And the other thing you might want to be looking at is the spin of the chakras. If you can imagine the spin, and feel how it feels to be going one way versus the other way, and be alert to that and see if it makes a difference for you. So thank you for joining in on this, Jennifer, and for your comments. So appreciated. And I so appreciate all of you who join me. And I hope that you find benefit and balance with lots of love, lots of compassion. I hope to see you again tomorrow.